Okay, let's see. Ah, how are you all doing? Welcome, guys. This is part 4 of my playthrough of Star Ocean, a sci fi fantasy adventure on the Super Nintendo that was never released here in the States. Mouse, did you know this? This game was never released in the United States? Oh, wait, my wife is listening to her stories. I'm sorry. It's fine, it's fine. Here I am. It's fine. Are you watching me on the YouTube?
No.
No. I'll be kind of sad if ends up being you're my only viewers. People end up joining. Guys, I bought a new controller for my Super Nintendo. The 8-bit Do wireless controller, and that's what I'm using to play right now. And, well, for the most part, it does a pretty good job. Oh, can't get it there. So, you guys mad? I really don't know what was that was. You know, I was look. Maybe I should have gotten. Oh. Jeez, I'm really out of the loop here. I don't know if I'm doing it right. There we go. Now that's a significant increase. Now there's a bunch of hidden characters you can unlock in this game if the PSP one is correct. If it's anything like the PSP one, there's a bunch of characters you can unlock. But I never really explored that all that often, all that much. Oh. Look at it. I guess I don't have enough money. All right, you know what? Let's do some combat. No.
敵のお出ましだぜ。ちょいとシャレになんねえぞ。よっしゃ。これなら満点よね。
You know what, guys? It's really strong. Do you have any Doritos left, Mouse?
Doritos, well, we do, but it's way in the back though.
All right.
I can't reach back there.
Oh. Okay, there you go. I got long arms. I could do it. I think this microphone is the best investment I've made so far. Oh, it looks like I have enough. I'm gonna go ahead and damn. Things could go really out of hand if you're not paying attention. There we go. I guess that's it. You know, I really didn't start playing RPGs till like my late teens. Um, I was I would say that I was fascinated with I was fascinated with things like with RPGs because hold on, I'm hearing myself on my phone. I was fascinated with RPGs because the idea of a game session taking more than like beating a game in more than one game session, to me that was like impossible, unbelievable. The idea of a game taking more than like 45 minutes to beat. And it was all done with a save battery. Now, I'm not gonna lie, like the what didn't intrigue me was not the actual like games, but rather what it took. For example, like a save battery. A save battery, really. A save battery was required to to beat a game. Right? And hang on, let's see what these guys say. That is a really messed up thing to say. See, if you want my last hot dog, you can have it.
I think it will. It's a delicious, juicy hot dog. Okay, I hope nobody heard.
Nah, this thing's very directional. It's not gonna hear anything
Okay.
unless you're standing like 2 feet from it. But as I was saying, with RPGs, like the first RPG I was ever exposed to was Fantasy Star 1. My brother borrowed it from one of his friends, and he played it and didn't beat it, but he got pretty far. And stuff happened. He had to give the cartridge back. And I was just trying to wrap my head around everything that was going on, really, because to me it would just seem like you're moving really slow, and the screen changes to combat scenes. Right? It just changes the combat scenes. I didn't know what was going on. I did not know the technicalities behind what was happening in the game. I just, to me, a video game was going from left to right, jumping over something or hitting something, and then beating the level. Right? That's all it was to me. But an RPG is you're going through an adventure. You are talking to people. You're getting clues. You're getting ideas where to go next. You're leveling up your character. Oh, I can't go here because the monsters are too strong. Well, you got to get stronger yourself. All these things were culminating, right? I didn't get that until much later, until my teens when my late teens when I kind of saw I started looking for something beyond the action orientated arcadey stuff that I liked. So this kind of mentality for me kind of continued, right? Like the first RPG I've ever played was Fantasy Star 2. Now, I've seen my brother play this game and then beat it and then play it again and then beat it and play it again and then beat it, right? And I got a clue on how RPGs work. Like, okay, you go around, you get yourself characters, these characters join you. Each character has its own story, their own reason for being with you. They either believe in your cause or what have you. Something's always happening, and that's what's happening, right? And the thing is that in my late teens, when I finally I've actually asked my brother's friend if I could borrow his copy of Fantasy Star 2. Like, look, I got can I borrow this game to play and beat? It was a yeah. He was yeah. Just wait till so and so day. I'll because I guess he had it in storage or something. And he let me borrow his copy of Fantasy Star 2, and there were only I think 4 save slots, and he let a lot of people borrow that copy of Fantasy Star 2. So each save slot was for one of his friends. One of which was my brother's. So I was like, well, damn. I don't want to erase anyone else's save slot. So, excuse me. wonder if there's any.
敵がデータ上に存在しない程度。さあ、ゴーショー。
So my brother told me, go ahead and erase my saves. I really didn't want to do that. I really did not want to erase my brother's save slot because that was his progress. He beat that game on that save. But he told me to do it, so I did it. And then it was like my turn. It was like my turn to play that game. So I played Phantasy Star 2, and basically, you know, I went through the paces, and I basically remembered what my brother did, and I thought I had blueberries. I don't have any blueberries? Oh, man. Oh, there it is. So I played through the game. I'm not going to describe everything, but I played through the game. And I had a great time. And I was like, so this is how you play an RPG. This is what an RPG is all about. And sure enough, you know, I enjoyed myself. One, because it was a slower paced game, right? I played a lot of fighters. I played a lot of racing games. And, you know, a lot of the stuff was action orientated and it was all fast paced. But in RPG, you don't have to be that fast. You could just kick back, relax, play the game at your own leisure. Kind of like right now, I'm having a beer and eating some chips, watching my wife cut up some oranges. You're gonna put tajin on that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go, tajin. Tajin. Hey, I see that chest behind that rock. I know what it's all about. No, not that rock, Master. The one on the screen. What? No, your mom was just talking to someone. Anyway, back to RPGs. Anyway, and I felt good about it. But what really made me feel the best, I'm not lying, was when my brother praised me. He said, "Congratulations, you beat the game without the hint book." I was unaware that Phantasy Star 2 came with a hint book. I just had the cartridge, right? I just had the cartridge by itself. I didn't have a hint book. Kind of wish I have it now, but oh hell yeah! Just 3 slices and they're gone. And I was like, wow. Now there's a couple of things in that game that really that bummed me out a little bit, and it's nothing to do with how it played. It was a story. It's a very dark story. That's why when I played Phantasy Star 4, I was praying to God that Rika or Fal will stay alive, because she's adorable. She's a naive, I guess you could call her a cat girl, but barely, because of the years. You know, it's a bit of a stretch. but like Nay passed, you know, she couldn't survive without the existence of Nay first, and she was just gone. Just gone. And for her not to come back was really heartbreaking. Even as a kid, when I saw it happen, it was a little heartbreaking. It's it was very heartbreaking, and I would see it time and time again. Like every time my brother would play that game, or I would hope that she would survive, but she never did. She never did. In the game, she was destined to pass away. You know that's just how it goes. Well, I'll get some more chips. And that Asian dude by the super stop, they don't have milk there, right? No, I guess not. What? Anyway, I think that's why whenever I play an RPG, I get dissuaded a lot. I'll be honest. If it's not a sci-fi RPG, I just don't want to have anything to do with it. No joke. I'm like, I like, I like, try to ignore it or whatever. But there was a I guess I have a bias against RPGs that are like fantasy style. Because, you know, the first RPG I played was the sci-fi one, Fantasy Star 2. And they had laser guns, they had robots, they had like mutants, bio monsters. You got, you know, you're going into space, going to different planets. I'm like, you know, this is a badass RPG, right? And when my friends try to introduce like Final Fantasy to me, I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I was willing to try Final Fantasy 7, but I never really had the opportunity to do so. I always saw Final Fantasy 7 as like everyone's favorite RPG, and I'm like, if everyone's playing it, I'm you know, I'm not gonna miss out on anything. You know, I like to play things that no one else has played, like this here. Like no one's ever heard of Star Ocean. You know, honestly, when I saw Star in the title, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this game. When I saw I have this on the PSP, by the way, the PSP version. And when I heard it was an RPG, and I saw the word Star in the title, I was like, I'm gonna buy this game because it's bound to be a sci-fi RPG. I'm not lying. I'm like, oh my god, this is so stupid. I have to be a little bit more open with RPGs though, because there's a lot of good ones out there. Now, the latest RPG that that I played was Phantasy Star 4. Damn it, I even streamed that one. What am I talking about? Okay. I want to say about 5 years ago, I beat Dragon Warrior 1 for the very first time. But it took me 6 years because it took so long to grind my character up to an appropriate level. I later found out that Nintendo purposely handicapped the game that way because they were afraid people will like rent the game and then beat it like in over a weekend and then return it. That is not a game you could beat over a weekend. But I digress. Took me like 6 years from when I started to when I finished it. The first time I initially played it, it would not hold my save, and well, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go ahead and delete the. Have to go ahead and change the battery out. By that point, I was pretty proficient with a soldering iron. Not the best. Even now, I'm like kind of iffy on a lot of stuff. But at the time, I could change the battery, and I did that. I changed the battery on Dragon Warrior, aka Dragon Quest. Let me slap that booty. Bah. Okay, mouse.
You're okay.
And I'm not like, you know, I changed it and I started playing, but I've noticed that it took far too long to actually beat that game. You know, I go to a town and like grind. It wasn't a very it wasn't a very enjoyable experience because of all the grinding I had to do. Like, for example, this game, it's much easier. It's well, it has all the same stuff. Okay. But honestly, this I think Nintendo learned their lessons and they stopped like handicapping the players when it came to RPGs. Capcom kept at it though. I think Breath of Fire is much harder in the US than it is in Japan. That is another series I kind of want to get into. But I already have it on the Wii Virtual Console, so I'm like all I really have to do to play that is just connect my Wii. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. That. I'm trying to hold my breath here. Hold on. Okay. Okay, well, anyway, after I beat Dragon Quest, I was so angry with myself. I mean, the first Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior. Um, that game was actually given to me by a neighbor kid. Couldn't really call him a kid. He was like maybe a year younger than me, but he wanted to get rid of this Nintendo, and he was willing to exchange it. Well, he wanted to get rid of a bunch of Nintendo games. So I don't know. We exchanged some titles, and I know that guy's drinking somewhere around here. Okay, well, oh man. Okay, what was I talking about? Okay. So, okay, anyway, after I beat Dragon Quest, I did not know what to do next. I was frustrated, and I later found out that it was because I was handicapped. So I just kind of like put kind of like a pin on fantasy RPGs, you know. And then there was a what's in here? Hey, mouse.
You're battling pineapples?
これなら満点
You know what? They call them evil coconuts or something. It's all the same monster.
Which game?
They're trying to save space.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Well, excuse me. Let's go on a different subject. You know, holding on to old consoles when the new generation started is something that I'm really quite familiar with. I'm not gonna lie. When the PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and N64 were out, I was rocking my Genesis till 1998. For like 3 solid years, I was still stuck on a 16-bit generation. And I enjoyed myself. There were a lot of games that came out. And I didn't really see any, you know... of course, I wanted to... Of course, I wanted to, like, get a new console. But the thing was is that my family was not the richest. We couldn't just go buy consoles nilly nilly. It was something that had to be saved up for or planned. And that's how it went. So I was okay with that for a while. Eventually, and the thing about me is that like I knew these consoles were out, but I did not know what games were being made for it. You know, um, but there was a certain period of time where I would see and read magazines like EGM, GamePro, Next Gen, that would kind of cover these games that are out in the market or about to be out in the market. And it never happened, right? Like I would read about like One and stuff. And One is a name of a PlayStation game. So it wasn't like a full coverage kind of thing. It's like I would hear hints and rumors, and every once in a while I would see something like in a magazine, but it wasn't a consistent thing. And when I finally got a PlayStation in '98, this was 3 years after it launched. I was happy to finally have a new console, and then I got, games to go along with it. And by this point, everyone was talking about Final Fantasy, and I'm like, I really don't care about that. I did not play a Final Fantasy until 10. And I already said this in a previous video, but honestly, I could care less about Final Fantasy, because I could care less about Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, and the sole reason was because they didn't talk. I don't know why they did that. Was it really that difficult to hire some voice actors and give them a line or two? At least some voice lines. They were even silent during the match. All you hear is like the action sound effects and the music. There was honestly, there was no like cutscenes with acting or stuff like that. It was just like text, and like there was this one guy at school that was really oh man, I already shared this story. I'll say it one more time. But he was into Final Fantasy, and the only reason he was into that is because like Final Fantasy 7. Now Final Fantasy 7 is a little more sci-fi. So that's something I was marginally interested in, but it was really kind of tough to get there. Like, honestly, it was yeah. I'm probably gonna end up getting yeah. I'm probably gonna have to play that game at some point. Oh yeah. Chips, beer, and Super Nintendo. That's the best. Yeah, you know, I should probably just go ahead. No way, I gotta see what's in that tunnel.
敵のお出ましだぜ。ザコザコ。よっしゃ。
これなら満点ね。
Oh. I like the fact that they use a more dynamic finding engine on this thing. You know, honestly, the first Star Ocean I played wasn't actually this. Wasn't even the PSP when it was part 4 on the PS2. And I got stuck in a section and then I stopped playing. And then I tried to start up again, but I kind of like I started up again, and then like I forgot what to do, so I started reading a walkthrough to see where I left off, and I was like, oh, okay, I see where I have to go now. But yeah, it'll I kind of needed it. Oh, I was supposed to go into the tunnel.
敵のお出ましだぜ。ザコザコ。
Now, it was. Huh. You know, I should probably save before I start fighting. That's right. That's neat. No, that's a neat effect that they got going on with the reflection and the clouds. That's why I say that this game feels like a 32-bit RPG because they just have so much going on. Oh, reptile guy. Oh no. Now be careful when going back in time. That might be that might be your ancestor. You know, you don't want to pull off a Marty McFly kind of situation.
敵のお出待ちだぜ。ザコザコ。
Damn. Maybe I'm not strong enough to go through here. I could have sworn I got through here.
Hey. 気をつけて。これなら満点。やった。
敵のお出待ちだぜ。行くぜ。敵がいます。行くぜ。
Where am I supposed to take all this ore?
敵のお出待ちだぜ。行くぜ。
Oh yeah. That's the last of it.
敵のお出待ちだぜ。ザコザコ。
You know,
これなら満点よ。
the little voice lines. When when I try to get into American RPGs.
敵のお出ましだぜ。
気をつけて
Someone ported Ultima on a Dreamcast, and I tried to play that, and because it was very old, I couldn't really quite grasp what you're supposed to do. There's a certain type of there's a certain type of there's a certain type of pace that a game like that has that I couldn't just quite grasp. And a lot of American RPGs are like that. You know, a Japanese RPG is very narrative based. You're kind of going along with the story. But, you know, an American RPG is not, huh. Am I even going the right way now?
敵がいる
ザコザコ。
ゴーショーゴーショーこれの満点
よっしゃ。
Like, and it wasn't until Fallout 3 that I started paying more attention to American RPGs. And I see what it is. It's about building your character and then using that character to go on quests. That sort of thing. So it was very surprising, I'll be honest, to see an RPG behave that way. Like, you go into town, and if someone dies, they stay dead permanently. They're still there. Their corpse is still there. People are gonna refer to what you done or what you didn't do, or what could still be done, and it was very, very different from what a Japanese RPG is. Whereas you're already done with the town, there's no reason to go back. Just keep going, you know. Jeez, that guy didn't not want to die. There we go. Oh man. You know, I'm trying to learn programming right now, and I cannot, for the life of me, understand how some of these programmers pulled off what they did. the most I was able to manage to pull off is a couple of graphics, some line scrolling, and that's it. I'm like, damn. That's all I could do. I can't put it. How in the hell am I supposed to put something like this together? It'll eventually come to me, I know. But still, I'm like, damn. These old school programmers and game developers. That's something I want to talk about. I liked it better when video games were much more niche, that they were much more hobby centric. Because I see the kind of things that gaming companies are doing now. And it's not, it's very, very messed up. I'll be honest. I wanted to make a video about this, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's been done before, but back then, there was no but back then there was no like internet. There was no day one patches. When you got the game, you got the game, and that was it. And it had to work right out of the gate. And most times it did. It really did. Oh, there's a chest behind that rock. And nowadays it's not like that anymore. It really isn't. Like the most recent game that I love playing is Armored Core 6. But when I got that game on the Xbox 360, no, on the Xbox Series X, pardon me, I was literally stuck. I couldn't play the game right away because I had to wait for a patch to download. And then I don't know how many gigs it was, but it was a lot. And I waited 20 minutes for that thing to finish. I could not get the disc, pop it into my system, and get it to work. And it's not something that I'm particularly happy with, because honestly though, when I bought that game at a GameStop, everything should have been already in there ready to go. Now let's say, for example, 20 years from now, when I'm like 60 years old, I'm thinking back, oh, that was such a great game. You know what? I'm gonna go dig my Xbox out of the closet and have me a good old time like when I was younger. What's gonna happen? Chances are that game's not gonna work. What's going on here? I paid $59.99 for this disc, and now it's not working. What's going on? This ain't right. This is not right. I'm probably going to be kind of senile, so I'm going to complain to Microsoft. I paid $69.99 for Armored Core 6. Why is this game not working? Sorry, sir. The servers that supported that game have been offline for for some time already. Well, put them back online. I need to play my Armored Core. I'm a big fan of giant robots shooting each other. I gotta have me my giant robot game. Sorry, sir, that's just not possible. Well, if that's not possible, I want my money back. That's not possible either. It's under the terms of service that, oh, great. So there you go. That's what's going to happen. A bunch of old guys, 20 years from now, myself probably included, are going to play some old school games, and it's not going to be possible. And it's just a terrible thing to see. Now, let's go back further back to the 90s. And maybe a little bit after. When I went ahead no. I'm going to save this. Now, I'm going to go back to a time. We're going to go to 1996. I was sick in bed. I was very, very sick. I caught a really bad cold. And my brother felt particularly bad for me. It was close to Christmas. I think it was. No, wait. I'm losing my timing here. But I was really sick, and it was a particularly cold time of the year. And I asked my brother if he could get me a copy of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Sega Genesis. I had a little bit of an allowance money. And he said, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll get it for you. You know, he took a part of my allowance money, and along with his own, he got me Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Sega Genesis. I have that game even to this day. And that game, all I have to do is pop it into the console, and it works. It 100% works. I don't have to do anything special to that cartridge. I don't have to like attach a new chip. I don't have to, hardwire my Genesis to the internet. No. All I have to do is connect my cartridge to my Sega Genesis, and it works. You know what I did to this game? Well, I patched it, but connect a cartridge to my Super Nintendo, and it works. For my PlayStation, when I wanted to play Ridge Racer Type 4, I popped the disc in, turned it on, and it loads. No updates, no DLC, no microtransactions. Every car that I want to play with in Ridge Racer Type 4, all I got to do is play a couple of races, select a team, select a manufacturer, and depending how well I do, I start unlocking cars. And that's how it was. That really is how it was back in the day. You unlock things, you completed certain certain challenges, certain courses, and then they were yours. You didn't have to do anything. But nowadays, you don't have that option. You do not have the ability to play a game on disc day one without some sort of barrier that keeps you away from the full game. It's just very sad that I see that now, and it's become the norm. And that's why I get dissuaded a lot from playing a lot of these newer titles, because it's just like it's like you don't even own the full game. Even Street Fighter 6, that disc I have, that's not the complete game. Let's say I lived out in the boonies, out up, in the Appalachian Mountains where there's no internet, no Wi-Fi, and I just like brought my Xbox over with a copy of Street Fighter 6, an arcade stick, and a TV. How much of that game is not going to be playable? 2/3 of the game. Okay, you get the arcade and the survival mode, but we can't verify if you're an owner of the game or not. You cannot access these features without connecting to the internet. I gotta tell you, I do not like that. That is not a good look. That is not that's not a kind of future for gaming that I want to live in, especially since people have a lot of bad internet. Let's say your internet goes down for a while, like a squirrel chews through a wire and then shocks itself and you fall off. It falls off and dead on the ground, and then like half the people in your neighborhood's internet are out. That wasn't your fault. You get booted off of whatever game you're playing. Oh, we cannot verify your copy of Madden. I'm sorry. There you go. There you go. There you go. Oh man. But the silver lining I see in all of that is that my main thing isn't really current games. There's a couple of things that I'm looking forward to, but not a lot. Doom: The Dark Ages is probably it. But after that, I don't know when I don't see anything on the Xbox that I want to play. Nothing on the PS5. No, I'm actually looking for a copy of Panzer Dragoon or Virtua Fighter 1 on the Saturn. I want to do a Saturn video because that system was quite something different for me as opposed to a lot of other people. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream right here. I did a pretty decent progress. I really should go back to see what's beyond that tunnel, but I don't want to just kind of push it. Anyway, peace out, guys. I'll try to stream tomorrow, but I have a big date, so it may or may not happen. Anyway, take care, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch y'all later. Lates.